coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Tonight, the Throttle Freaks GT3 League rolls into race 6 of this 10-round championship. And tonight, the battlefield is tighter, louder, and far less forgiving. Welcome to the Adelaide Street Circuit, a place where concrete walls define courage and precision becomes survival. Every lap feels like a 150-mile-an-hour fistfight. For 45 minutes, these GT3 machines will thunder through the iconic Victoria Park section, blast down the long Brabant Straight, and dive into the fearsome Turn 8, a corner so quick and so narrow that even the bravest drivers hold their breath. There's one mandatory pit stop, but strategy here is a gamble. Pit too early, and you risk traffic. Pit too late, and you might get trapped by the chaos Adelaide is famous for. This is the turning point of the season. Championship hopefuls need to strike. Mid-pack warriors need to rise. And anyone chasing redemption gets no better stage than the street circuit that punishes hesitation and rewards absolute commitment. Tonight the walls close in. Tonight the stakes rise. Tonight, the Throttle Freaks GT3 League takes on Adelaide. Welcome in, this is Racers Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell, and we got a brilliant race here for you tonight as we kick off the midway point of the season here with our week 6 of our 10-week season here this week. As I mentioned, we're going to head to the streets of Adelaide. Let's take a look at the track. Exactly 2 miles in length, 198 feet above street level, 14 turns to test our drivers here this evening. No rain in the forecast, only a little bit of wind. Humidity relatively low. You see the air temp 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 73 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temp. Perfect day. Although don't get it wrong, it looks like it's a little bit of a cloudy kind of mid-afternoon race here, but we are early morning in the land down under. Let's take a look at our calendar. As I mentioned, we're kicking off the halfway point for the back half of the season here with round 6 at Adelaide. Next week, we're going to head to Hockenheim, heading over to Germany, and then while we're there, we hit up the circuit to the south, Lemans, for round 8. We head back to North America for the final 2 rounds at Indianapolis Road for round 9. And we're going to wrap everything up on the streets of St. Pete. So a couple of theoretical street courses here after Adelaide, as technically Le Mans is a street course. It is on actual streets and roads. So, and then St. Petersburg, the newest, well, I guess was the newest street circuit until Coronado came in this season to take over that title. So our drivers in the middle of practice, or sorry, not practice, they're in the middle of qualifying right now. Let's take a look at the format. Same as it's been for the 5 seasons prior. 120 minutes of practice, that's wrapped up. 15 minutes of open qualifying. That's why all the drivers are on track here together. They are coming up to about 10-minute mark in qualifying, so about 5 minutes to go. The race, 45 minutes in length. They are limited to 50% fuel. We'll start to see those stops coming around the halfway point. It is fixed setup. The only thing they are allowed to adjust is the brake bias. No other settings can be changed. 20 instant points nets them a drive-through. Every 4 points after that will net them another drive-through as well. So let's take a look at the points championship coming into this one. Start off with the pro class. Jack Hedgecoke's leading the way. 24 points ahead of Jim Feliz in second place, who's another 15 points up on William Fenson in third. Our resident Aussie, he's going to be looking to have a nice showing here tonight. In Adelaide, Josh Spears, 14 points back of Fenson in fourth, and David Bush the third. Around our top 5, another 7 points back of him. But look, a lot of heavy hitters right in behind David Bush, only a point or so back at him. So he's not all that comfortable in the 5th place position as it stands right now. Over in Pro-Am, we see Jason Park leading the way with his back-to-back class wins. Last couple of weeks, that's opened him up a nice 30-point gap over Seb Gauthier in second place, and then Colin McKenzie only 11 points back of him. In third, Josh Goen only another 5 back of McKenzie. In fourth, and Jack Polyak right on Goen's heels, 2 points back. And then again, you see Dale Peterson right in that battle for a top 5 position too as well. In our AM class, that's where we're going to see James Hand leading the way. He's had a brilliant season so far for the Brit. He is up 2 points on Ian Cabana, so tight battle between these 2 drivers at the top of the AM class. Chip Michaels, 25 points back of Ian Cabana, 27 points back of James Hand, our leader. But Sean Provo, Cesar Jimenez right in that battle too as well in 4th and 5th. Only 3 points back of Michaels for Provo, and another 2 points back of Provo for Jimenez. So a lot still up for grab in the AM side of things. And then lastly, let's take a look at our teams championship, where it's been a fairly dominant season so far for Goen Racing Brewing. Although the last couple of weeks, Jack Hedgecoke has brought his game, but unfortunately his teammates, the Goen brothers, haven't fared so well. That's brought SRTE Purple back into that battle. Only 19 points back of them, and then Riot Motorsports Team Red, 44 points back of SRTE Purple. Lunatic Racing in 4th, another 31 points back of them. And Whataback Racing going to round out the top 5, 16 points back from the Lunatic Racing team. So now we got all that stuff out of the way. Let's take a look and see how qualifying is shaping up here right now. As you see, Gonzalo Cortez currently leading the way. We talked to him last week, and he was looking forward to this one. And it looks like it shows right now, leading the way in qualifying. He is 1/10 up on William Fenson. I mentioned it, Fenson, our resident Australian driver, currently sitting in second place in qualifying. He's going to feel very good about that if he can hold on to that starting position. Seb Gauthier, our top Pro-Am driver, currently in 3rd overall. Our Pro-Am drivers are in the red number blocks. The Pro drivers are in the orange. And then our AM drivers are denoted by the green blocks. And as I say that, we see Cortez going to improve his time even more up ahead of Fenson. Oh, Jack Hedgecoke's out of nowhere going to come up into 3rd. That's going to dump Seb Gauthier down into 4th, but he's still leading the Pro-Am class. See, our top AM driver right now is Andy Mills. Nice run for him, but as I say that, James Hand he pops up into second place in class, and he's exactly one spot behind Mills on the overall position right now in 16th and 17th place respectively for those two drivers. So nice run for them right now. Let's see who else we still have on track here we can focus in on. Here's Jason Park. Comes in leading the Pro-Am championship battle by virtue of going back-to-back here last couple weeks with class wins. So can he make it a three-peat here at the Land Down Under on the streets of Adelaide? We'll find out in about 50-55 minutes or so. The drivers have about 44 seconds left in qualifying. Don't let the clock fool you. As long as they cross the line before the clock ticks down to 0, they can finish that lap they are on. So they still have roughly about a minute and a half, almost minute 45 or so left in qualifying to pick up Pete Mejia. Pete had a rough race last week at VIR. Got wrapped up in turn 1 incident with, I believe that was, oh man, who did he get wrapped up with? Herbert Pineda, I believe. The two of them are Wiley vets, got wrapped up on lap 1. So we'll see if they can have a nice clean race here this time. But Herbert Pineda, speaking of which, currently sitting in 9th place in qualifying, just going to bump down one spot as Jim Feliz moved down one because Jared Keane going to put himself up into 7th place. Pro-Am driver got himself into the top 10. There you go. Clock is ticked over, so our drivers will be able to finish the lap they are on here as long as they cross the start-finish line before the clock ticked over, as we're on board with David Bush III. One of our lone Lambo drivers. I think he might be the only Lambo driver. Let's take a quick skim through timing and scoring here. And yes, it does look like he is our lone Lamborghini driver here this evening. David Bush, always safe to predict that he will be in the Lambo. Through thick and thin, that's his car of choice. See our leader Gonzalo Cortez here heading into the final sector. Currently sitting 16 hundredths ahead of William Fenson in second place. Fenson's done his final lap. Let's see if Cortez is able to improve. Currently he's holding on to pole. Can he improve on his current pole sitting time, which is a 1:16.89? His last time by, he's going to clock a 1:16.86. He does improve, so he's our lone driver into the 16. So nice qualifying effort there by Gonzalo Cortez, putting a stamp on it here on his last lap. So pick up Andrew Trickett, one of the lone drivers still on track. He's going to bail on his lap and he'll pull it into the pits. And looks like Jack Poliak, our last car on track, but he has come to a stop. So that should pretty much do it here for qualifying. We'll have to wait for timing and scoring to run down, and then we take a look at the results for qualifying and see how our drivers will stack up here for the first race on the back half of this season. And there we go. Timing and scoring has reset. And let's just take a look here at the grid, see where our drivers are going to stack up here for race 6 of the 10 race season. On pole, we got Gonzalo Cortez with William Fenson to his outside in row 1. Row 2, we're going to see Jack Hedgecoats in 3rd with Seb Goche in 4th. 5th place going to go to David Bush III with Brett Thurman in 6th. 7th is Herbert Pineda. 8th is Jared Keane. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Jim Feliz with teammate Andy Mills to his outside. 11th place is where James Hand is going to be found with Jack Poliak to his outside in 12th. 13th place, Samuel Garcia in 14th. Jeff Evans, the Whataback driver. 15th place is Colin McKenzie, our lone Acura, I believe, in the grid. Oh, no, sir. Brett Pancari's in 1-2 as well. Andrew Trickett going to start in 16th. 17th place for our Pro-Am leader, Jason Park, with Pete Mejia to his outside in 18th. 19th place is where Joshua Spears is going to start, the SimCity Racing driver, in 19th. And 20th place, Dale Peterson in the McLaren. Andrew Venaro for Riley Racing in 21st. Cesar Jimenez, the I-75 Motorsports driver, going to start in 22nd in his Porsche 911 GT3 RS. 23rd, Ian Cabana. Second place, Ian Pro-Am points. Sorry, coming into this one. He'll start beside Nick Goen of Goen Racing in 24th. 25th place is Sean Provo with Miguel Vigo in 26th, our lone Aston driver on the grid this evening. 27th place is Josh Goen with Justin Welsh, going to start in 28th. 29th, Jay Steffi. He looks like he's hopped in the Mercedes this week. And then Matt Mars in the mellow yellow machine in 30th. 31st place is Ryan O'Connor with Brett Pancari in 32nd. 33rd is where we find Ryan Bird with Kyle Colbert in 34th. 35th, David Morris and Whataback driver Doug Elvins in 36th. 37th place is going to be Kevin Berquist with the Dixie Cup paint scheme of Max Gomez in 38th to his outside. And then round out the field, we've got Timothy Dunn with an Arizona Iced Tea livery on that McLaren to start shotgun on the field in 39th. We go 39 cars going to make up the grid here this evening as we run through the streets of Adelaide. Just going to get a glimpse there of how tight the track is here at Adelaide. So all of our drivers going to have to really be cautious out there. And it looks like timing and scoring for some reason has shuffled our drivers around. So we'll quickly reload this in here and see if we can get that corrected. There we go. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Green is out. Gonzalo Cortez going to lead them around for the first time through lap 1. It's a huge jump in through lap 1 and 2. Jack Hedgecock's got himself up one spot into second place. William Fenson down into third. Seb Goche going to hold on to his fourth place start, but looks like a little farther back we've got some jockeying amongst drivers. It looks like Miguel Vigo might be around early on. Oh, he just came to a complete stop. His thing's kind of bottlenecked up ahead of him. But he is off and running, still going. Looks like we've had a couple bumps and bangs here and there, but for the most part, everybody looks like they're still running. Hats off to all of our drivers. That's what we love to see. That's the action we love to see here at Throttle Freaks. But speaking of action, Gonzalo Cortez tearing out of the pole shot on this one. Opened up a huge lead. Starting to get pulled back in here a little bit by Jack Hedgecoats and William Fenson. But Cortez put his stamp on that pole position at the end of qualifying. Managed to better his pole sitting position on that last lap. Put the exclamation mark on it. He's been able to hold on to that right now, but Hedgecoats, Fenson doing what they can and trying to reel him in. We got 4 Ferraris in the top 5, but David Bush III, representing the non-Ferrari team, currently sitting in 5th place. Oh, looks like timing and scoring has a mind of its own here this evening. It's just going to take a restart, but we are flying. Just like David Bush III here, let's go on board with him and get an idea of how tight the confines are here. See some sparks coming off of Seb Goche's right quarter as he just kisses the wall. You really got to try and get into the rhythm here. You don't want to get up on these curbs. It might look inviting, but those walls come up really quick, and the curbs here kind of act like launch pads. They will throw you out into that outside wall, so all of our drivers need to be cautious of that. Let's check in on our AM class battle as we see James Hand. He's got himself around Andy Mills to take top spot in class here now. So we'll see here if James Hand able to try and open up a gap here between he and Andy Mills. Hand again came in leading the AM class championship for points. Ian Cabana was only a couple points back from him, so James Hand gonna have to try and maximize his points haul here if he wants to open up that gap on Ian Cabana. Speaking of Ian Cabana, he's a little farther back in the field, currently sitting in 24th place, 4th in class. He's trying to find a way around Andrew Venaro. He's also got Josh going right in behind him. Going one of the Goen Racing team drivers. Currently leading the team championship, but very close battle between them and the SRTE purple team. Their lead driver is this man right here, Jim Feliz, who's in behind his teammate, Jared Keane. They are teammates on SRTE, but they are on different teams as far as the points go. Oh no, Matt Mars has had to tow back to the pits. We'll see if we can pick up what happened to him here. Looks like potentially he, maybe David Morse, Kyle Colbert might all got wrapped up in something. Let's see here. So here is Matt Mars in the mellow yellow Audi. Oh, just gets into the tags the back of that Ferrari there. And goes off track, comes back on. I'm not sure why he towed here. Did something else happen afterwards? Up and over the curb. Oh, yeah, something else is going to happen up here. Up onto the curb there. Oh, and he just gets tagged by the same Ferrari he got wrapped up with earlier. That is the 67 of Justin Welsh. That's unfortunate. Looks like Matt Mars is going to be our first retirement. Andy Mills into the pits too as well. Our pole sitter in AM class, he is out early on. Oh man, not the way he wanted to start off his race either. We'll see if we can find what happened to him. See Samuel Garcia here, up 3 spots into 10th place. That is a bright chrome on the side of that Porsche. Hard to miss that one out there on track. So bring up the picture where we see Herbert Pineda. He's in a battle. Herbert has Jared Keane just up ahead of him and James Hand, our AM leader, in behind. So Herbert doing what he needs to do to try and stay ahead of that battle. But up front, Jack Hedgecokes and William Fenson, they are battling it out. That's allowing Gonzalo Cortez to open up that gap now. He's got 2.2 seconds now over that second place battle of Hedgehooks and Cortez. And then Cortez going to cross the line here and put in the fastest lap. I believe 3 out of the 5 laps so far this race, he's put in the fastest lap of the race as he's crossed the line. So Cortez punishing pace out there for the rest of the field this evening. The battle a little farther back here between Josh Spears and Pete Mejia. Oh, looks like Spears going to get that pass done. Pete has to back out, but he can't back out too much as he has Dale Peterson right behind him in that yellow and blue McLaren. Peterson, the Riot Motorsports team driver. He's got Cesar Jimenez in the I-75 Motorsports car, and behind him, Nick Goen of Goen Racing. Tight battle here from... Oh man, this looks like, what do we got? Jack Polyak leading this pack. No, it looks like Colin McKenzie leading this pack here of cars here. Which stretches from Colin McKenzie in 12th place all the way back to, I believe that was Nick Goen at the tail end in 21st place. So what do we got, about 11 cars in this pack. Looks like the Acura working well here for McKenzie tonight. He's got himself up 3 spots. Didn't have the best race last week at VIR. So we hop up here to Herbert Pineda, another driver I mentioned. Rough race last week at VIR. He and Pete Mejia tangled on lap 1, but Herbert Pineda in the top 10 right now, currently sitting in 8th place. It's like Keane starting to break away from James Hand in behind him. See if they continue to do so. See what else we got going on in the field here. We've got, looks like, ooh, Jay Steffi might have got involved. Oh, we got a Dale Peterson into the tire barriers in behind. Not sure what happened to him, but he was slow coming to that corner. He's going to come out in front of Brett Pancari. Oh, and he's going to pull it to a stop there. Let's see. You see Brett Pancari with the onboard. Not sure if he got involved in something here, if he just came to a complete stop. Oh no, he just missed the corner there. Really had to get on the brakes. It's going to flag him for a crash, unfortunately, but even though it wasn't, happens on a street course when you come to complete stop almost. Let's see what happened to Dale Peterson to put him into those tires. In through turn 1. Oh, just too much curbs into that tire wall. Heavy hit. Oh, and the second hit. He probably could have survived that first hit on the cement block, but that second impact into the tire barrier pretty much spelled doom for him. Let's take a look here. Jeff Evans, one of the Whataback drivers. Currently 16th overall, 8th in pro class. He's got fellow pro driver Josh Spears just in behind him. Oh! somebody up over the curve. I think that was Jack Polyak. It was. Oh man, he's lucky he's able to save that. I thought that was going to be a race ending, and luckily for him, or not necessarily for him, Andrew Trickett, who was in behind, Polyak didn't get thrown back out into the middle of the track right in front of Trickett. Man, let's see if we can, I'm not sure if we can take a look at that from maybe Trickett's onboard. I'd love to see what he was looking at there. So we're on board here with Trickett. Let's see what he sees when he comes around the corner here. There's Polyak up over the curves, into the wall, then right out in front of Andrew Trickett. Oh, plenty of room there. They could have fit about a bus in between those two drivers. Ferrari. Oh man, I just did what I hate when everybody says when they say the Corvette looks like a Ferrari copy. I was gonna say Ferrari on Ferrari battle here, but this is Corvette on Corvette battle. Our top two Corvette drivers, Jerry Keane, Herbert Pineda, battling it out. Herbert Pineda pulls off and he lets James Hand through. Interesting move there by Herbert Pineda. Jack Polyak, the driver we saw, bunny hop the curbs, Tony Hawk rail grind, he's into the pits. I suspect he probably got a little bit of damage there. I'm not sure if the pit window is quite open here. We might need to see him come back in again, but just caught in the last camera angle there. Not sure if James Hand has some damage on the back of this BMW or not. It looks like it's punched in a little bit. Let's see if we can go on board here with Herbert Pineda and see if we can take a look. Yeah, the back trunk looks like it's definitely punched in on that BMW of James Hand, so he's been involved in something. Let's check in on our lone Aston driver, Miguel Vigo. Let's get Ian Cabana, Joshko, and Andrew Venaro just up ahead of him. Doesn't look like this is a great track for the Aston. Vigo, very accomplished driver. He's been driving the Aston all season. We saw him, I think it was last week, qualified in the top two rows. Wasn't able to bring home the win, but showed the pace that the Aston had at VIR. But it looks like Adelaide just doesn't really 1 and 1 add up to 2 here for the Aston. It looks like it adds up to about 4 or 5 here, plus a couple fractions. But he's making a move on the inside of Ian Cabana. Cabana going to fight him on the outside. Nice defensive move there by Ian Cabana, not allowing Vigo to get the inside line there. Looks like Dale Peterson's come back out of the pits and he's had another incident. So rough race getting even worse here for Dale Peterson. But James Hand continues to try and move up through the field. He's now put some pressure on the back. Oh no, sorry. He's fallen back a couple spots. Herbert Pineda has gotten back by. It looks like Samuel Garcia has gotten by James Hand too as well. Let's see if we can find out what happened to James Hand here. Let's see. Herbert Pineda going to make the move. So Pineda in the Corvette, Hand in the BMW. Looks like Hand's just going to pull over and let Pineda through. Interesting, because that's what Pineda did earlier when he let Hand through. And looks like Garcia going to say, thank you very much. I'll take that position too as well. Now keep in mind, all three of those drivers in different classes. Pineda in Pro Class, Garcia in Pro-Am, Hand leading the Am class. But generally you don't see that happen too often. When you're that far up in the pack, you're trying to really maximize as many points as you want, as points are handed out where you finish your overall position, not where you finish in class. So every position matters here, but maybe James Hand putting a little goodwill in the jar for retrieval later here as the race goes on. Check in on our leader. Cortez continues to pump out the consistent laps. He and William Fenson are only two drivers to dip into the 116s. Actually quite a bit farther into the 16s than anybody else is even at getting to a 17 flat. 116.8 for Gonzalo Cortez, 116.9 for William Fenson, and the next closest lap, it was just Jack Hedgerock just improved his, but he was at a 117.22. He's got that down to a 117.11, but Still quite a bit quicker there for Cortez and Fenton. Again, as mentioned off the hop, Fenton, our resident Australian driver. No doubt he wants to do well here. Had a rough race at Oran Park. We were there earlier this season. We spend a lot of time at Australian tracks throughout all the GT3 leagues that we cover here on Racers Nexus. Let's head a little farther back in the field here as we got a battle between Andrew Trickett and Cesar Jimenez. It's a battle for 17th and 18th place. Jimenez currently holding down 17th place. He's up 5 spots from where he qualified in overall position. So nice job by Cesar. Currently sitting in 2nd in class in the AM class. So nice run for him. You can see Pete Mejia and Jeff Evans battling just up ahead of them. It's a nice thing about street circuits. Not only do I enjoy just the visuals of the street circuits, they tend to keep the drivers closer together, so you have battles up and down throughout the field. As you know, we've got what do we got? 33 cars still at track. Started with 39. Unfortunately, lost a few. So the 33 cars on track. I say there's only a handful of cars that are more than a second or more, that gap between the car either ahead of them or after them, just to give you an idea how much battling there is going on out there on the track. Jimenez trying to get away from Trickett. He's actually closing in a little bit on Pete Mejia, the PLR Simsport driver. Pete with the unenviable task, trying to mount a charge on the car ahead of you. Meanwhile, trying to keep an eye on what's going on in behind you. Always tough. You tend to have to sacrifice one or the other. So difficult to try and look at the windshield and focus on your mirror at the same time as Pete Mejia almost gets into the back of Jeff Evans, the what-a-back Mustang. Pete looking racy. Speaking of racy, William Fenton has picked up the pace. He's now taken fastest lap of the race, 1:16.7. as he's starting to reel back in our leader, Gonzalo Cortez now. Could that be Cortez going into a little bit of fuel save mode? You see that battle on the inset. Cortez leading. You can just see at the back of the camera shot there, William Fenton getting ever so closer. We'll keep that battle up there as we continue on with the battle here between Evans, Mejia. I'm going to say Jimenez and Trickett are now firmly in that battle. Nick Goen trying to get into that battle too as well. Josh Goen, his brother, is going to pop in for his fuel stop. We don't need for tires here tonight. Drivers won't have enough time to change the rubber. They should be well within usable range of the tires here at Adelaide. Not overly abrasive as far as the tires go. Let's pop up a little further here. We got David Bush III with Jim Feliz in behind him. Feliz now up 3 spots. Where he qualified, came in 2nd in pro class in points. Right now, a ways back from Jack Hedgecoke's the leader in 3rd place. So what's that? Feliz is in 6th. Hedgecoke's in 3rd. Feliz is going to want to try and either find some strategy here to close that gap a little bit. Maybe he goes for the undercut this evening. Maybe he finds some clean air. As I have a look at the track map, we still get the majority of the cars are all fairly close on track. There is a decent amount of space. If some of the drivers were to pop in right now, they might be able to find some clean track to potentially put down a few heater laps to close in on that driver they're trying to catch up ahead. Looks like something might have happened to Max Gomez. Let's take a quick look at the replay here. Gomez driving the Dixie Cup Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Coming into the final corner here. So the front brake's just glowing. Oh, he's just going to miss the corner. Really had to bail into it. Bail out of it, sorry. Gets it collected up, so no crash there per se. Well off pace though for that corner. So we head back to this battle here between Bush III and Feliz. Well, they jockey. That's allowed Seb Gauthier the ability to open up a bit of a gap here. He is the leader in Pro-Am class, well ahead of Jared Keane right now. His teammate on SRTE, but on different colored teams here. Seb Gauthier for the purple team. David Bush David Bush. Jared Keane representing the SRTE. I believe it's black, potentially. Let's take a look here at who else is on the team here with Seb Gauthier. Jim Flees and Brett Thurman representing the SRTE purple team. And Jared Keane looks like he's a solo driver here for SRT, but he's got the Bad Santa just ahead of him. As I mentioned, SRTE purple driver. So right now, SRTE purple drivers in 4th, 6th, and 7th. That's going to bode well for them to close down that gap between them and the Going Racing team that's currently leading the team championship. Jack Hedgecoe's doing what he needs to do for points here for the team. Let's take a look and see where the Going brothers are. Nick has come in for his fuel stop, so that's going to cycle him a little farther back, currently sitting in 28th overall. And then Josh, he's completed his stop too as well, currently sitting in 32nd. So we'll have to see where they end up settling in once the rest of the field comes in to complete their service. Top up here to a Pro-Am battle. Jason Park, who's won the last 2 rounds in the Pro-Am class. He's got Colin McKenzie hot on his heels. Let's go on board here with McKenzie as he tries to chase down that Mustang of Jason Park up ahead. The Lunatic Racing driver. It's just he and David Bush III this season. I believe they had Matt Scherf, I believe, was on their team as well, but we haven't seen him for the last couple of weeks. So looks like it's been left in the hands of McKenzie and Bush III to try and capitalize on points for that team. Josh Spears, SimCity Racing driver, lurking behind him. He's up 5 spots. Tiny little race right now for Josh. Himself 1 position inside the top 15. Yes, sir, Richard Swindell. Seb Gauthier is on fire tonight. The man came to the Southern Hemisphere with a plan, and he is executing it here tonight so far. Although we can see Bush III and Fleas start to get closer in on him here. Seb has a little bit of room to play with. But Jared Keane lurks not too far back at 8th place in Pro-Am. Or sorry, 2nd in Pro-Am, 8th place overall. So Seb can afford to give up a little bit of time, maybe position to each one of these drivers to still have Brett Thurman in between them. But he doesn't have much more room other than that. Top back here. Ooh, let's pick up Ryan O'Connor, and as we do that, we see Miguel Vigo up ahead of him in the Aston, doing the Jack Polyak with the Tony Hawk rail grind up over the curbing. Looks like the Aston fared a little better than the Ferrari of Polyak earlier. 2 British machines will head down the straight, battling it out. Both of them with V8 power plants under the hood. The Mercedes powered V8 in the Aston. Twin turbo versus the twin turbo of the McLaren V8 as well. Connor looks to the inside, unable to make a move there. He's going to have to try and recalibrate, find another way around here. But up front, look at this. William Fenson has now closed the gap, half a second between he and Cortez. The man from the land down under, hometown race for him. Can he find a way around Cortez? As we are just past the halfway point, so we should start to see more and more of our drivers come in for their fuel service here. Will Fenson try and duck in early? Will he try the undercut to see if maybe he gets a little bit of clean air where he can have an opportunity to put down those quick laps that he's done? Will maybe Cortez try and duck in early to relieve some of the pressure here from Fenson? 2 different strategies. But to be honest, they'll both probably come in at the same time. If if we're going on what generally happens in the past, Fenson will follow in Cortez. We'll see though. Fenson's a wily old vet here at Throttle Freaks. Cortez we saw in season 1, hadn't seen him for a couple seasons, but he's back. He's been in and around the top 5 almost every race. Same with Fenson. So for that rough race he had at Oran Park, he'd like to wipe that one off the memory banks, but Jim Flea's now put some pressure on the back of David Bush third. Ooh, Flea's hanging out the back end as they head down the straight. So it cost him a little bit of time to David Bush third. Let's bring back up the lead battle on the picture-in-picture. Cortez still leading the way. We see, looks like one of the Whataback drivers. I think that's Doug Evans, going to dive into the pits just ahead of the leaders. Wise move by Doug. Get out of the way. Get yourself in there. Get your service done. So you see Feliz really closing the gap up on Bush the third through the final corner. But the Lambo looks like he's getting out of the corners a little better than the Ferrari of Feliz. Feliz really getting late on the brakes. It's compromising his exit, unfortunately. David Bush III really took advantage of that there. Closing up on the back of Seb Goche. This has been a burner lap so far for David Bush III. It's one thing to catch the driver ahead of you, but it's so difficult to pass. At Adelaide, you only have 1 or 2 opportunities to really make that move, and if you can't get it done, you got to wait for a whole other lap to do it. Will Bush III make the move here? Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make the dive under the brakes. He does not. He's going to stay tucked in behind there for now. Let's head back up to check on what's going on with their leaders. Cortez leading the way. He's got a couple more 10th gap now between he and Fenson. They're both going to go around another lap. So come across the line. They're going to start lap 21. Both these drivers continue to run in the positions they qualified, first and second between the two of them. They started on the front row. They've been there since the drop of the green. We did see Fenson lose his second place position ever so shortly to Jack Hedgecoats, who took that position away, but Jack Hedgecoats right now falling back from this duo up front. 8 seconds now back from Fenson. Seb Goche only 2.3 seconds back from him, so they're starting to reel in Hedgecoats up ahead. Jack definitely doesn't want that to happen, as his current championship rival right now, Jim Feliz, is in that trio that is currently chasing him down. Let's go a little farther back here. Vigo, so he's going to move over, let O'Connor and Steffi through. So Jay Steffi up 9 spots into 20th place. Ryan O'Connor up 10 spots into 21st place. Nicely done for him right now. Kevin Berquist up 12 spots, I believe. Let me double check. Kevin Berquist right now our biggest mover of the race. 12 positions into 25th spot. Started 37th. Nicely done for him. He's got David Morris right in behind him. David Morris up 9 spots too as well. So nice run for both these drivers. Now, keep in mind, some of those positions are due to some other drivers having pit stops done already, which David Morris and Kevin Berquist haven't. We've got Josh Spears and Andrew Venaro. They're into the pits for their stop. There's Venaro coming down pit road, and Spears into his stall now. Oh, look at this. William Fenson right on the tail of Cortez. They get some lap traffic up ahead of them. That is the 11 of Max Gomez up ahead of him in the Dixie Cup Porsche 911 GT3. He's going to bail out. Thank you, Max, and let them through. Next up is the 8 of Josh Goen. Oh, there we go. Cortez going to relieve some of the pressure from Fenson. Into the pits he goes. Okay, what can William Fenton do here now? We've seen him put up multiple fast laps of the race. Can he do it now? This is the opportunity he needs. Jay Steffi, as he goes by, going to bail out and let him through. Oh, Steffi almost into the wall as he gets back on track. So David Bush III and William Fenton both going to go around one extra lap. We're seeing the majority of the rest of the field here coming in. Hedgecote, Scoche, Feliz, Thurman, Keane, Pineda, Han, Garcia, all into the pits to get their service done here. Has Fenton and Bush III been able to save enough fuel? Jason Park, Colin McKenzie, both going to go around for one more lap. Cortez has done his stop, and he is out 14.28 seconds in his stall for him. 39.6 from cone to cone. He's back out. He's going to get those tires up to temp. William Fenton continues to push here. He's got Josh Going Racing driver up ahead of him. I don't suspect he will catch him before he needs to duck in for his fuel stop here. So let's bring up the picture-in-picture with Cortez. See Fenton coming in through the final sector here now, ducking into the pits. Okay, William Fenton needs to target a sub 39 second pit stop here, which looks like it was a little on the slower side for Cortez compared to the rest of the stops that have been completed here. So Fenton into his stall. Gonzalo Cortez now heading into the final sector here now. He has a quick little double left-hander, and then he'll be heading down the start-finish line. Fenton is out and away. There's Cortez in the background. Fenton going to come out as the leader. He's going to need about half a lap or so to get his tires back up to temp, where Cortez is going to have those tires up to temp. Currently 1.9 seconds between them. This is where Cortez really needs to push. He's got the tires back to optimal operating condition. Fenton trying to get them there. William Fenton, you know he'd love to win this race on his home soil. But Colin McKenzie just up ahead of them. McKenzie still owes us a pit stop. He'll be ducking in this time by. Shouldn't be a factor in this battle. He's well enough ahead of them. Fenton's actually opening up the gap here on Cortez. It was 1.9 seconds once Cortez got up to the back of Fenton, but Fenton's now opened that up over 2 seconds here. Oh, black flag for instant points, unfortunately for David Morris. Had a nice race going for him, but William Fenton out of the final corner. He's going to come across the line. This is start lap 25 for him. Final 13 and a half minutes of this race. See what Gonzalo Cortez has now for William Fenton. We know he's got the pace. We saw him up his top qualifying position on the final lap of qualifying, was able to better it. He's the only other driver other than William Fenton who's been putting in 16-second laps, 1 minute 16-second laps this race. These are our two fastest drivers all race. It's going to come down to presumably one of these two for the win. Cortez, rough exit there. He's going to fall back to 3.5, pushing 4 seconds for Fenton. Oh, man. Cortez really going to have to find some pace now. 4 seconds between he and Fenton. William Fenton needs to just kind of buckle in, strap in, pull those seatbelts tight. 12 minutes to go here for William Fenton. Let's go back farther. David Bush III has gotten around Seb Gauthier through pit strategy. So move the Bush III up into 4th place. They've actually closed that gap on Hedgecoats quite a bit. Only 2 seconds now between Hedgecoats and Bush III and those two SRTE drivers. We just got so used to seeing Jack run away from the rest of the field here that it's rare to see him get reeled in by other drivers. Now it'll be interesting to see if maybe these teammates here between Gauthier and Feliz, if Gauthier allows Feliz by him. Knowing that Gauthier is still leading the Pro-Am class, Feliz battling Hedgecoats in the Pro class. Would love to get that position away from Seb Gauthier to get a couple more points here. See Hedgecoats, the purple Ferrari, just going out of camera shot here now. There comes David Busch III in the Lamborghini. Feliz looks to the inside. Ooh, thought about trying to late break Gauthier there, but looks like no papaya rules here on SRTE. It's every driver for themselves. Let's head back to our top AM driver, see how he's doing. James Hand. One of the few drivers still running in the qualifying position of 11th. He's trying to find a way around Colin McKenzie, who was the only driver to go 24 laps before having to pit. So I think the Acura just sipping on fuel here tonight. I don't know if Colin went with the minuscule size draw on the fuel line here tonight, but able to eke out one more lap than anybody else in the field. Brett Thurman with a slowdown. He's going to have to serve that, the bad Santa machine. He's comfortably ahead of teammate Jared Keane, who's in 8th place. Keane, though, trying to stay ahead of Herbert Pineda. Herbert down 2 spots from where he qualified. Still in the top 10, though. William Fenton continues to open up that gap. Had it just over 5 seconds, back up just over 5 seconds again over Cortez in 2nd place. Jason Park. Right now, looks like his streak of consecutive wins. Ooh, gonna go by the wayside. Oh, man. Not sure which one of the Ferrari SRT Ferraris that was up on the curbing. I think that might have been Jack Polyak. As he let Hand, Park, McKenzie, Garcia all go through. Jason Park, the Riot Motorsports driver, trying to find a way around our top AM driver of James Hand. But farther back from them, Jeff Evans and Cesar Jimenez are battling it out for 17th and 18th place. Evans, the Whataback Ford Mustang. Jimenez representing I-75 Motorsports. He and looks like he's the only driver for the black team. I-75 Motorsports black in the field tonight. James Hand looks like he's the solo representative for just the I-75 Motorsports team. So can't remember who the other 2 drivers were on those teams this season. But let's go a little farther back here. We got Brett Pancari, Ryan Bird, and Kevin Berquist battling it out. This is for 26th, 27th, and 28th position. Pancari currently leading the trio around. He's got the Castrol GTX bottle back out there in camera shot for Richard Swindells. Ryan Byrne, the meat and the sandwich right now. 3 different manufacturers, the Acura of Pancari, the Corvette of Bird, and the Ferrari of Kevin Berquist. Looks like Ryan Bird potentially going to make a move into the braking section here. Fast sweeping turn 8, full commitment here in the GT3s. Can the Corvette outbrake the Acura? You see them swirling around as they get onto the brakes, the bumpy streets here of Adelaide. Ryan Bird going to make that pass stick. It's going to move him up into 26th position. Check in here on Ian Cabana and Andrew Venaro. Cabana, the Beaton and Andrew sandwich as it is right now. Trick it up ahead of him. Venaro in behind him. His closest battle, though, right now is with Andrew Venaro. Started 21st, and he's running 21st. That's about as consistent as you can get, folks. Ian Cabana up ahead, though, up 3 spots. Mentioned it off the top. It's been a nice season here for Ian Cabana. He's going to wish that he was a little farther up through the field as James Hand, the current leader in the AM class, But Cabana came in only a few points back of currently sitting in 11th place. Cabana back at 20th, so James Hand going to open up that gap heading into next week's round at Hockenheim. We're now down to just over 6 minutes to go on this one. William Fenson continues to lead the way. He's catching up to a little bit of traffic. You can see up ahead, that's about Berquist, Bakari, and Bird. Now, normally, when they get the blue flag, you'd expect them to get out of the way of the leader, but they are involved in their own battle for position. So they're going to want to let Fenson through as quick as they can, but they're not going to want to give up a whole lot of time to the two drivers that they're battling on track. Fenson crosses the line, 1:17.35 last time for him. Let's see what Cortez puts in. 1:16.98, so Cortez starting to find some pace here. No doubt he's looking at his relative to see that lap traffic up ahead and wondering if maybe, just maybe, it could play a role here for him potentially to close that gap on Fenson. The race might come down to how well William Fenson gets through this traffic up ahead. As once he gets through these three cars, the next lap down car would be the number 6 machine of Dale Peterson, who is probably about 5 or 6 seconds up the track from that trio. I don't think Fenson will catch Peterson, but if he does, it'll be right near the tail of the race. So this trio up ahead going to be crucial here for William Fenson to lock in the win. Bring up on the inlay here, we got the battle between Herbert Pineda, who is caught up to the back of Jared Keane. That's for 8th and 9th place. Jared Keane in the black and green Corvette. Herbert Pineda in the, I think that's silver blue and black Corvette in behind him. It's either silver or white. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a little hard to see in some of the shadowy areas of the track because we got sun on half the track and shade on some of the others. Here we see Fenson has caught up to the back of that pack here now. How quickly are they going to be able to let him through? Looks like Berquist's going to pull over promptly and let Fenson through. Gentlemen, move there by Kevin Berquist. He'll tuck in behind Fenson, try to not lose any draft. Hopefully for him, he can stay right there, and then it'll close him right back up on the back of Pancari as Fenson makes his way through. Fenson giving the razzle dazzle to Brett Pancari and Ryan Bird, letting them know he is closing that gap. Again with the razzle dazzle. Into the final corner they go. Pancari going to go wide. He'll let Fenson through on the inside. So only one car left of this trio for Fenson to get by. Ryan Berg going to pull over and let him through too as well. There we go. Fenson has made his way through the lap traffic. Now, Gonzalo Cortez do the same. He's a little bit of ways back. He might not even get to them before the end of the race here. I think that has sealed the race here for William Fenson. If Fenson can bring the car home clean, navigating through that traffic as quickly as he did is going to be what has done it for him. Looks like that was the last chance for Cortez. Was hoping that Fenson was going to get wrapped up in that lap traffic, not be able to make it through as quick as he could. William Fenson, the Australian driver, looking to win here at the streets of Adelaide, round 6 of 10 in this Throttle Freaks GT3 Fixed Season 6. Herbert Pineda's falling back a little bit off the back of Jared Keane in the picture-in-picture. Let's quickly go back here, check in on Pete Mejia as he has caught up to the back of Nick Owen. Oh no, Pineda is around. Oh man, Herbert Pineda has fallen down to 13th place now. He's putting a ton of pressure on the back of Jared Keane. That's going to allow Garcia, Park, Hand, McKenzie all to get through. Let's see if we take a look here what happened to Herbert Pineda. There he is trying to chase down Jared Keane up ahead. Did he just get a little too much curb here? Oh, just carried a little too much pace into the corner, lost the back end. Ooh, Colin McKenzie and company had to try and squeeze by. Looks like McKenzie might have got a little bit of damage on the front of his car there. See if that hampers him at all. He is up 6 spots into 9th. 3rd place in class, but William Fenson will be picking up the white flag next time by. That gap has gotten larger between he and Cortez. Fenson knows what he needs to do. Seasoned veteran. 3 more corners to go here to finish up this lap. He'll pick up the white flag this time by. Last corner to go here. This is it. William Fenson, the hometown boy, picks up the white flag. Last time by here for these drivers. Just needs to keep it on track. Doesn't need to push the envelope here. He's got a comfortable lead over Gonzalo Cortez. Let's quickly pop back here to David Bush III and Jim Flees. Flees is falling back a little bit off of Bush III. Right now, it looks like Flea's going to have to settle for 5th place in the overall, but he has closed a couple positions here on Hedgecoats with only David Bush III between them. Oh, that's actually Hedgecoats just ahead of Bush III. So we'll bring that battle up on our picture-in-picture here as we go back to the leader. Keep an eye on them with Hedgecoats currently in 3rd, Bush III, and Feliz trying to chase him down, but William Fenson into the final sector. He's got a left, another left, and then one more right. The Ferrari, the Riot Motorsports machine, William Fenson started 2nd overall. He's going to get home in top spot. The hometown boy takes the win. Round 6 of 10, William Fenson is your winner. Let's hop back to this battle quickly. Bush III, Hedgecoats, and Feliz. Like Jack Hedgecoats going to hold on to 3rd place. Cortez comes home in 2nd. Bush III in 4th. Feliz in 5th. Seb Gauthier going to take top spot in Pro-Am class. Jared Keane, nice run for the SRTE driver. He's going to come home 2nd in class. Colin McKenzie with the Dustbuster Crumb Sniffer. Acura NSX, he's going to come home 3rd in class with James Hand taking the win in AM class. His teammate Cesar Jimenez, I-75 driver, going to come home 2nd in class as he's heading around the final corner and across the line there now. And Mr. Ian Cabana, excellent race for him across the line in 3rd place. Sean Provo going to pass Jay Steffi at the line. Ryan O'Connor too as well. Jay Steffi, I'm not sure if he's out of fuel or... he's just going to park it in the wall, I guess. Looks like that should be everybody. Oh, we have David Moore still on track. I believe David might be a lap down, so that should make everything official here. So the hometown fella, William Fenson, heads back home. Round 6 of 10, takes the win, snatches it away from Gonzalo Cortez, and then runs away from him after the pit stops. Hats off to William Fenson. He couldn't have done it any better than that. We'll find out here shortly as we check in with him in the post-race interviews. But first, let's take a look at our results. Start off with the Pro Class. We just saw William Fenson taking the win over Gonzalo Cortez and Jack Hedgecoats. David Bush III going to come home in 4th with Jim Feliz in 5th, Brett Thurman in 6th, Pineda in 7th, Spears, Evans, and Goen round out the top 10 with O'Connor, Bird, and Vigo rounding out the class. In Pro-Am, we see Seb Gauthier takes the win ahead of Jared Keane and Colin McKenzie. Garcia, Park, Mejia, Trickett, Venero, Goen, and Provo kind of round out the top 10. With Steffi Pancari, Berquist, Morse, Peterson, and Polyak rounding out the rest of the field. And then Kyle Colbert, I believe we did not see him hit the grid. In AM class, James Hand takes the win over teammate Cesar Jimenez. Ian Cabana comes home in third with Andy Mills in fourth. Rough race for Andy. Started on pole in that class too as well. Going to come home in fourth. Doug Evans in fifth. Max Gomez, Justin Welsh, Matt Mars, and Timothy Dunn all out before the checkered flag, unfortunately for those drivers. So now, let's get reset here, and we'll bring a few drivers in to have a chat with us. But first off, let's see who we got in here. We've got, let's bring in our race winner, the hometown boy, William Fenson. William, you were able to do it. You snatched it away from Gonzalo Cortez after the pit cycles. Were you feeling like you had enough pace that if you get out ahead of him, you can just kind of run away as you did?
I'm glad I got the win. I didn't think I would get past him under sheer pace alone. I knew I had to do something in the pits. I don't know if he got caught up on his outlap, but to get 3 seconds on him after that sort of gave me breathing space and obviously put the pressure on him to try and make up time.
It's definitely got to feel a little better than when we took the trip to Oran Park earlier this year, that you were able to bounce back and snatch away the win. Out of the Aussie tracks that are on the service, how do you feel about Adelaide compared to maybe Bathurst or Oran Park or the other ones?
You didn't need to bring up Oran Park. It's taken me whatever it's been 4 weeks to get over it. So. But no, I actually like a short track. So Oran Park and Adelaide suit me. Bathurst, not so much.
Well, we head to Hockenheim next week, so we're going to leave the streets here and head to a FIA Grade 1 track, Formula type circuit. How comfortable are you feeling about heading there and maybe trying to close that gap in the Pro Championship?
I expect Jack and Jim to be up to pace there, and I think for me that's sort of one I'll just be trying to play catch up.
Well, excellent work here, William. You did it. You put in that. I know how hard it is to try and win the hometown race. I've tried to do it many times before, and it just doesn't go my way. So hats off to you. But anybody you want to give a shout out here to cheering you on and helping you get ready this week?
Yeah, thanks. It is nice to get the home win. Special shout out to Jay for nearly killing me coming out of the pits. Thanks.
We saw that. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rail grind for him, but thankfully you were able to get by him. But best of luck next week, William, and hopefully we see you back at the sharp end of the field again. Take care.
Thanks very much, guys.
That was race winner William Fenson. A bit of a cough, sneeze going on here, but let's bring in what else we got here. We got Gonzalo Cortez. Let's bring in Gonzalo, who put it on pole but wasn't quite able to bring home the win here. Gonzalo, looks like a little bit of a slower pit stop for you, and William was able to capitalize on it. Is that basically what cost you the race here tonight?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I gave for not practicing pit entry. I just completely blew it, and I had to slow down too much. I thought I had to put in reverse, but luckily I made it, and then my pit crew gave me like way too much fuel, so a combination of that. But I think where I lost the race was the 2 slows downs at the beginning of the race. I think those were the biggest one, because then at that point I had to be driving on the defense and forced me to drive a little more, I guess, cautions and stuff. So, but it was a fun race.
Now we head to Hockenheim next week. Is it a track you're a little more familiar with? I know you had mentioned last week that you weren't all that familiar with Adelaide, but you were able to put it on pole. How are you feeling about heading into Germany next week?
Not that good, because I think the Mustang dominates that track right now, but we should see. I really never drove that track that much, but I'm gonna try to practice this time. Hopefully I get some better results.
Wow, excellent stuff. It was a nice run. Nice to watch the battle between you and William all race. But Before we let you go here, Gonzalo, anybody want to give a shout out to helping you all this week, getting ready and cheering you on?
Yeah, just once again, big thanks to my team and then Pete Mejia and then all my teammates and stuff. So appreciate all their help and stuff. And thanks to you guys again.
Excellent stuff, Gonzalo. Hopefully we see you battling up at the front again next week. Take care.
You too, hopefully. Thank you.
That was Gonzalo Cortez, our second place finisher. And let's bring in the man who comes home in third, although it was getting a little dicey there at the end, Jack. David Bush III and Jim Flees were starting to reel you in. Were you doing a lot of mirror watching at the end?
Man, I was just trying to survive. Like I said last week, man, I would be happy with the top 5. I got third. I'll take it. I was getting worried. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was bleeding so much time in like the hard braking zones, like all the 90-degree corners. Like the only one that I didn't bleed any time was turn 1. So my leg was cramping a little bit. My left calf was cramping, so I could not brake. Not like I would have had pace to stay with Fenton or Cortez. They were way faster this week. So, but yeah, I'm just happy I stayed in front of them. I think another lap or two, and I may have been in some deep trouble. I'm not gonna lie. So,
well, you came in leading the Pro Championship just ahead of Jim Flees. You're able to keep a car at least between the two of you. So you're gonna head into Hockenheim, maintaining your lead. But how comfortable are you feeling heading into round 7?
Well, I won't be here next week. I'll be out of town, so that's hope. I mean, at this point in the season, I think as long as I just don't have an incident, like don't get wrecked or have some sort of penalty, I think if I just stay within the top 5 every race, I'd be okay. Like obviously, I'll push to win, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, we'll just see what happens after next week. We'll see if they get some points on me after the drop week is placed for me, but just looking forward to the rest of it, and hopefully it's some good races. So that's all I can ask for.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, give us your shout outs here, Jack.
Shout out to my dad for always watching. And then I think this week, I missed last week. I didn't know my aunt and uncle were watching last week, so I'll shout out them this week. Hopefully they're watching. My Aunt Tony and Uncle David, thanks for watching this week, and hope it wasn't too boring watching me by myself for 45 minutes just about. So, but shout out to them, and shout out to Josh and Nick for racing this week. I saw they had a little race to the line there at the end. One of them was out of fuel, so they were laughing. Hopefully they had a good time. And then shout out to the Logitech guys in here for helping me get the gear that I have and where I can compete. And thanks to y'all for the broadcast.
Excellent stuff, Jack. Best of luck heading into round 7 next week. We'll talk to you then.
Alrighty.
That was P3 overall and P3 in Pro class, Jack Hedgecox. Now let's bring in our race winner in Pro-Am. You did it again, Sub. You were able to come home top spot in class. How's it feel winning here on the streets of Adelaide?
It feels really good. Everyone hates this track, but I love it.
You know what? I love the street courses. I don't know why people hate it so much, but you're able to bring the car home clean. You had yourself a nice little battle there with Feliz and Bush III for, I'd say probably the back half of the race, where you just kind of, minding your P's and Q's, realizing that those two were in a different class, and you had a nice gap over, I think it was Jared Keane was the next Pro-Am driver.
Yeah, I think it was Thurman behind me, but man, Bush can't keep getting away with it. These pit stops, he's doing something illegal for sure.
We'll have to send his car to scrutineering afterwards to find out how he's making that Lamborghini so fuel efficient. But we head to Hockenheim next week. Is it a track you're familiar with?
I mean, I've raced there 2-3 times. It's been a while, but I'll get up to speed.
Well, you're gonna close that gap in the Pro-Am class. Jason Park came in leading it, but he finished a number of spots down behind you. Actually, it looks like there might be a whole lot of jumbling in the Pro-Am class. Points were fairly tight after the first couple drivers in class. You feel like you have a shot at maybe bringing home the championship this season?
Oh yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm looking at the standings right now, 21 points back. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go here, Seb, give us any shout outs that you want to give to everyone cheering you on.
Yeah, the usual suspect, the family, the guys who run this league, and you guys, obviously, the broadcast, the SRT folks, and special shout out to Dave, who runs our practices every week. He's on time and, gets all the settings dialed correctly.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck next week, Seb, and good luck towards your championship chase here with 5 more weeks to go after this one. Take care.
Thank you.
That was our top driver in Pro-Am class, Seb Goche. Let's bring in his teammate who finished in second place in class, Jared Keene. Jared, you come home second in Pro-Am class, a couple spots behind your teammate, Seb Goche, but all in all, looks like it was a strong performance for the SRTE team.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I guess we'll take it. We couldn't get the break into the podium, but we'll take it.
Now we head to a drastically different track next week in Hockenheim. It's a grade 1 track, wide open spaces. You don't have the tight confines of the walls here where we saw a number of drivers, kissing the walls, throwing some sparks up. How you feeling about your chances of maybe getting that top step in Pro-Am class next week?
Well, Seb is a tough nut to crack. So we practiced together all week, and I don't know what our pace is. Raced so many laps at Hockenheim over the years. And it's a great racing track. It's wide. It's got a lot of places where you can get your nose in. So much different than here. You're right. Each of them have their own challenges, but so fun to be back on track. I've missed 4 of the last 5 weeks with some travel. So man, I miss you guys.
Yeah, I wondered where you've been. It's a bit, like you said, a few weeks since we saw you, but you might have to, AI is a wonderful thing now, Jared. You might have to send a little bit of an AI program over to your teammate Seb Goche to DDoS him a little bit, so maybe he doesn't make it to Hockenheim and you could take that top spot.
Trojan horse.
Exactly. Just send him a thing, say, yeah, Seb, you won $1 million from SRTE. Open this email here and receive your surprise. Before we let you go here, Jared, anybody you want to give a shout out to for helping you all week?
Well, the obvious things, the parents that watch every weekend and the family that supports this crazy hobby and the team. This team is fantastic. We spend a lot of time with each other. So 4, 5, 6, and 7, let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4.
Absolutely. We'll see if you can do that next week at Hockenheim. Best of luck to you and your teammates here as we edge ever so closer to the end of the season.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. That was Jared Keene, second place finisher in Pro-Am class. Doesn't look like we have our third place driver, so let's head on over to our AM drivers. Let's bring in our race winner in AM class. Well, you did it again, James. You've had a heck of a season going off so far. Managed to put another win under your belt here in AM class. How much do you like Adelaide?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I quite like it. Once you get the rhythm of it, you can get a good flow, and then you can put in some good laps. It's just nightmare turn 1 with the slowdown all the time, so which I got a few of them. So. But no, it's a good track.
It looked like it was probably, I don't want to curse it, but it looks like it was probably our cleanest start of the entire season with almost 40 cars. I think we were one shy of 40 cars heading into the first set of curves. Looks like basically everybody got through, maybe a little bumping and banging here, but for the most part, everybody got through. And that big old BMW that you're driving is tough in the best of times to get through tight circuits, but you managed to weave it around Adelaide here comfortably ahead of the rest of the class. I think your teammate, Cesar Jimenez, who finished in second, finished about, we got 6 or 7 positions down on you. So did you feel comfortable? You didn't really need to push the envelope here too much, just put in comfortable laps one after the other?
Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable. My main focus is obviously just turn 1, just try and not get as many slowdowns on them because it does hurt you down the long straight. But no, it was a good pace. I felt like I could have gotten a bit more. But yeah, it was just more of just surviving, really, staying away from the walls, and just bringing it home.
Well, next week we head to Hockenheim. You came into this one leading in championship in points. You're going to exit it leaving the points too as well. Only a few more races left to go in the season. You starting to get a little itchy to wrap up that championship?
Yeah, I'm trying to get as much points as I can because I'm going to have to miss one of the tracks, which I think is Indianapolis. So I'm trying to get as much points as I can so I won't lose position. But yeah, I just want to get the win now.
We'll see if you can go back-to-back here next week at Hockenheim. But before we let you go, James, anybody you want to give a shout-out to helping you all week or cheering you on at home?
No, just again, just a big thank you to you guys for the broadcast, and obviously the people that run the league, and then big thanks to my team, and also well done to my teammates. So yeah, on to the next one.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck next week, James. Go get you some practice, and we'll see how your championship hopes go here with a few more races to go in the season. Take care.
See, bye.
That was race winner in AM class, James Hand. And then let's bring in our final driver this evening for the interview, his teammate, Cesar Jimenez, who finished up second in class. Cesar, excellent race here tonight for the I-75 Motorsports team in AM class. 1-2 finish for you and James.
Thanks a lot. It was a great race. Real tight, but once you got the rhythm down on this track, it's just really easy to stick to the groove, keep it clean, and that's how I was able to get the second.
Now, we've talked to a number of drivers in the past that either kind of love the street circuits or hate them. Which side of the alley do you stand on here?
I think so far I love them. I think I just love the 90-degree turns because braking points are simple. Let go for the turns, left, right, left, and it's just easy to memorize. And I know it's tight, but as long as you stick to your groove and just keep doing exactly the same thing, you keep going, you can get fantastic times. That's what I've been able to capitalize on.
Next week we head to Hockenheim. Is that a track you're familiar with?
Ooh, I've only raced there a few times, so I'm gonna have to get familiar with it again. But I'm sure if I just apply what I applied here, I know it's not 90-degree turns, but just keep them in the groove, get used to the track, and I think it'll be an easy time.
Yeah, a little more room if mistakes do happen there to not have to contend with the walls. But you and James doing the best you can here for the I-75 team as far as the AM Championship and the Team Championship. You think you have a chance maybe to go 1-2 in the AM Championship here if you guys can finish out strong the rest of the season?
That'd be ideal. That's what I'm hoping for. As long as I can stick with it and keep up the pace, if we both keep getting 1-2s, that's what I'm hoping for.
Excellent stuff. Well, we will keep an eye on that going forward. But before we let you go here, Cesar, anybody you want to give a shout out to that's helped you get prepped each week for the races or cheering you on at home?
A shout out to my lovely wife.
Excellent stuff. It's the better halves that allow us to enjoy the hobbies that we have. But we'll let you go get ready here for next week. Cesar, best of luck heading into round 7 here at Hockenheim. Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Was Cesar Jimenez, our second place finisher in AM class. I believe that was 17th overall is where he finished. So nice run for him. 17th out of 39 cars, and being a pro AM driver isn't anything to sniff at. But that's going to pretty much wrap things up for us here at Adelaide. Next week, as I mentioned, we're going to head to Hockenheim, a much different track, FIA Grade 1 track. It features or has featured in the past for Formula One's German stop. Excellent track, a lot of overtaking opportunities. It's going to be interesting to see which car, which driver rises to the top. But we'll catch you next week, same time, same place here. I'm Rob Campbell. This has been Racers Nexus. Until then, bye for now.